Hello, and welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be talking about 5 things that you can do to improve your egg quality. And I want you to feel encouraged by this video because egg quantity is a matter of age. The older you get, the less eggs you have. There is nothing that you can do about that. That being said, egg quality has nothing to do with age. As you get older, you can have better egg quality than you did 3 years ago, 5 years ago, or even a decade ago. I actually see that where there are women who are in their 30s who have worse egg quality than women who are in their 40s. And so I want you to take this advice today, but take it in with hope and excitement that even if you are 35 or you're 40 or you're 41, you have the power to control your egg quality. So first I want to introduce myself. I'm Bianca. I'm a fertility diet and lifestyle coach, a professionally trained chef, and a nutritionist. And I help people get and stay pregnant. And that's what I'm hoping to help you do today. Food is the number one control factor that we have. And the reason being is because we eat 3 to 5 times a day. And so that means that you can either have a positive impact 3 to 5 times a day, or you can have a negative impact 3 to 5 times a day. And so again, you are in the control seat. You get to decide how you eat and what you eat. Now, processed foods have no place in an egg quality diet. I'm so sorry to tell you that. So if you are big into like Fairlife shakes, Built bars, Built Puff bars, all of those like added protein foods that kind of read as junk food, I know it feels exciting and like, oh my God, am I gaming the system? Because I'm getting all of this protein, but I'm eating a chip. You are not gaming the system. Your body knows. And how your body knows is that there is nothing within that food that you can meaningfully extract for your egg quality. Yes, there's protein in there, but there's all kinds of additives, artificial flavors, artificial colors that are negatively impacting your gut health, negatively impacting your liver health, and therefore impacting your egg quality. And so you need to start eating real food. You will hear this said across almost every single one of the videos I do about egg quality is that processed foods have no place in this type of diet. You need to be eating single ingredient foods. If it's kale, it's kale. If it's eggs, it's eggs. If it's beef, it's beef. And when you do that, you will significantly improve the quality of your eggs. But not just that, the quality of how you feel, how you sleep, how you digest, your brain function, your blood sugar balance. All of this will be improved by simply removing processed foods from your diet. Now, I love a cocktail or two. I'm a fun lover, but if you are trying to improve your egg quality, you need to really be mindful of the alcohol that you consume. And this isn't to say that you can't go out and have a good time. With an egg quality diet, it's about consistency, not perfection. So 80-20, 85-15 split is kind of where I like to see my clients sit at. However, if you are someone that has a glass of wine every single night to wind down, if you are drinking to excess multiple times a week, this is going to affect your egg quality because of what it does to your gut and your liver, and also the inflammation that occurs when you drink alcohol. One of the things that people get wrong about hangovers is people think hangovers are from dehydration. It is in fact because of the inflammation that your body has incurred. And inflammation is an egg quality killer, it's a fertility killer, it's an everything killer. It's the silent killer, actually. And so you want to make sure that your relationship to alcohol is very much considered throughout this whole process. I don't have a problem with my clients having a couple glasses of wine on the weekend if during the week they are, living within the confines of the diet that we've created. But if you need an alcoholic beverage every single night to unwind, we have to find other outlets. Because what happens when you drink is the body's master antioxidant that is made in the liver cannot be made as effectively because your liver is then bogged down by the alcohol process. And then all of that master antioxidant is being used up just trying to balance the effects of you drinking as opposed to contributing to good egg quality and decreasing oxidative stress in the body. So if you love drinks, if you love drinking, you need to reconsider what that looks like. When I work with clients, we put together booze protocols so that you know what to do before you drink, what to do while you're drinking, and what to do after you drank and the day after so that you can help your body mitigate some of the negative effects of alcohol. Now, another thing about the food that you're taking in is that it's not just about what you eat, it's also about how you eat it. And I think that this is the thing that confuses a lot of people, because people will say, well, I eat the best foods. I eat all organic. But if you are eating your food in the wrong order, if you are not eating enough of that food, then that is going to be a problem. Fertility is a luxury function in the body. It requires a lot of energy. It requires a lot of good calories, lots of macronutrients. And if you are not eating enough, you are not able to fund the energetic needs of your life while also funding the energetic needs of good egg quality, good hormone balance, and all of that. And so if you were, a child and a product of the 90s, then you will have grown up with, nothing tastes as good as skinny feels, leave a little something on the plate. It's okay if you're a little hungry when you go to bed. All of that is hogwash when it comes to you getting and staying pregnant. Certainly if you're over 35, certainly if you're over 40. Because again, if you have less eggs, we have to be so particular about feeding and energizing the eggs that we do have. There's nothing we can do about our egg quantity, but there's so much that we can do about our egg quality. And what you eat and also how you eat it is tremendously important to this process. Egg quality is something that we're all talking about right now, because more and more people are doing things like IVF, IUI, egg retrieval. And the thing about egg quality is you don't know what's happening with your egg quality until you go through that process. So instead, you kind of have to have a proactive approach. You have to start doing these things without knowing what your egg quality looks like, because there's not a lot of testing for it. And so again, it's very important that you understand what to eat, how to eat it, and you are eating enough of it. Speaking of energy, there are a lot of supplements that you can take for your egg quality, but one of the best ones that you can take is coenzyme Q10, CoQ10. Ubiquinol is also what you might see it as. And what this does is it increases the energy in the body because it helps with your body's mitochondria. Mitochondria is truly the energy in the cell. And when we improve the energy in the cell, we create healthier eggs, because what are eggs? They're cells. And so I put all of my clients over 35, over 40 that are actively trying to get pregnant, and if they're under 35, I'll still put them on it, on CoQ10, because of what it can do as far as increasing the mitochondrial function in the body and increasing the energy in the egg. Like I just said, fertility is an energetically rich process. And if our cells, just at their most foundational, don't have the energy to carry out these functions with precision and with knowing what to do, then that's a problem. And so we have to deliver energy back. How we can do that is what we eat, how we eat, but also by supplementing with precision. And CoQ10 is one of those egg quality supplements that is a non-negotiable. Because again, if you are dealing with diminished ovarian reserve, that doesn't mean that the quality is bad, but we have to make sure that we make the most of those eggs that we have left. If you are doing something like IVF or IUI or egg freezing, it's a numbers game. You want to get a lot of numbers. That being said, if you are just trying naturally, all you need is one. But regardless of whether you decide to do assisted reproductive technology or whether you're trying to get pregnant at home, you need to make sure that your energy in the body and in your cells is where it needs to be to meet the demands of what you're asking it to do. Toxins are everywhere. We truly cannot escape them. It is the world that we live in. It is a very toxic world. And so my next point isn't to scare you. It isn't to fearmonger, but it is to let you know that your toxic load is absolutely affecting your egg quality. And one of the places that we get an exceptional amount of toxic load is plastic, microplastics. They are everywhere. And while we can't eliminate them from our lives completely, it's truly impossible, we can reduce our exposure, certainly in our home. And so what you store your food in, if it is plastic, remove it immediately. Like after you watch this video, go throw it out. Go to Amazon or Dollar Tree or Dollar Store or Dollarama, wherever you live, and go get glass storage containers. If you are warming your food up in plastic, you are stopping that immediately. You're not going to do it again after you hear me say this. If you are using a lot of plastic utensils, those little plastic utensils, if you go and you touch the end of them, they feel a little rough. And that's because little pieces of plastic comes off every time you use it, and that gets into your food. Teflon. If you are using non-stick cookware, that has to stop. And there's a lot of air fryers that have just like non-stick throughout. What you can do is get like a silicone insert if you don't want to buy a new air fryer right away. And that will create a barrier, a safe barrier between you and that microplastic, or your food rather, and that microplastic. Because they're finding plastic in polar bears. Very few humans have contact with polar bears unless they're about to die. And so the fact that it has reached the food chain to that point means that like they're ubiquitous with life. And that is a problem. And that means that we have to do our due diligence to make sure that our exposure to plastic is as low as possible. There are just some things we can't avoid. Even for myself, like I'll look at some things and be like, this isn't plastic, this isn't plastic, this isn't plastic. And it's like, it can make you crazy. And that's not the point. It's about reducing your exposure. There's other toxins to be worried about, but plastic is one of the most invasive ones because it is everywhere. They're finding it in newborn babies, which means it is in them in utero. And that, again, can be scary, but we can reduce our exposure at least to the point that we are not having a negative effect on our egg quality by virtue of the fact that we just have so much plastic in our lives. And so again, reducing how much plastic comes in contact with your food, especially when you heat it up, can be very, very powerful and very, very meaningful. If you are ordering takeout, and I've said this before and I'm saying it again, if you eat takeout, if you are someone who orders takeout, as soon as it arrives to you, if it is in plastic, you take it out of that container and you put it into something glass. And don't let the paper boxes confuse you. Those are all lined in plastic. So those are just as bad. Coffee cups, when you go out to a coffee shop to get coffee, those are all lined in plastic because if they weren't, it would leak right through. And so take your coffee cup, your metal coffee cup to the coffee shop and let them put the coffee in that. You'll probably also save. But trying to reduce your plastic exposure will have a very positive benefit on your egg quality. Sleep is one of the most underrated egg quality improvers. People will be like supplements, diet, this, that, the other, and we're not talking about sleep. Sleep is so important, and also by extension, rest. If you find that you are always tired, you're always drained, but you still go to like that very hard workout, you're still burning the candle on both ends, you're still saying yes to all the invites, you have to get a better relationship with rest in your life. Sleep is so important because that is when our nutrients are taken up by our body more effectively. That's when our thoughts and all of the things we learned and saw in the day actually have an opportunity to digest because it's not competing with us, bringing in more information. We're out. We've been knocked out, so our body can do the work it needs to do. And people will say to me, well, I sleep, and then I wake up, and then I fall back asleep, and then I wake. That's not good. Just because you stay in bed for that amount of time, for 7 to 8 hours, but you're up consistently, or even one time, we need to have 7 to 8 hours of uninterrupted sleep. And if this is not happening, we have to zoom out and ask ourselves why this is happening. And for many people, it is a cortisol response that is happening in the night. Most people who wake up in the middle of the night to pee think it is a bladder issue. It's actually your blood sugar. When your blood sugar can't hold itself at a good level in the night, so it either spikes or it dips, what happens is cortisol is released because that is the response from bad blood sugar balance. And cortisol, it's not the demon you think it is. It's only bad when it's out of whack and it's misplaced. But cortisol is a morning hormone. It is high in the morning because that's what gets us up. That's what gets our to-do list running through our head. But if you have a cortisol response in the night while you're sleeping by virtue of your blood sugar not being balanced, then you will have that wake up, have to pee, to-do list running through your head, and that is not a good thing. And so if you are someone who does not get like consistent sleep, or you go to bed late and you wake up early, you have to develop a different relationship to rest and sleeping, because that will absolutely affect your egg quality, because the nutrients that you're taking in don't have the time to actually get where they need to go. And again, it's like you're eating all the right things, you're taking all the right supplements, but you're not sleeping well enough. It's not good. And so all of these things have to come together in order to improve your egg quality. And the last thing that you're going to do is you are going to move your body. You're going to start exercising. And Exercise definitely has an asterisk around it, because when it comes to exercise, you don't want anything that's super, super intense, that you're sweating a lot, you're losing a lot of moisture. Blood requires liquid in your body. If you're losing a lot of it, that is not good for your blood quality in the body. But you want to be sweating, because there's two places that our body detoxes itself: through our liver, but also through our lymphatic system, aka when we sweat through our underarms and other places. And so that is also how toxins get moved out of our body and moved through our body. And so if you are not engaging your lymphatic system consistently, then that is also going to affect your egg quality, because again, there might be a toxic load that's a little bit higher in your body because it's not being effectively removed. Now, this is also an important point. If you use something like an antiperspirant, you have to stop that right now, because that is stopping you from sweating. And what is important is sweating and removal of those toxins through sweat and through the lymph system. If you have plugged up one of the largest lymphatic drainage systems, which is your underarm, that is an issue. And I just also want to say, sweating is not a character flaw. Having body odor occasionally is not a character flaw as you're trying to find a deodorant that's natural, that works for you. Every time I see commercials for deodorant, it's like people are like preparing for war. It's a little bit of body odor. You'll be okay. But as you sort of find your way and you find what's going to work for you. But antiperspirants have no place on anyone's body, but especially if you're trying to improve your egg quality, because you want to make sure that that lymph system is engaged. One of the best ways to get your lymph system engaged is to go on a walk, but add some weight to it. So I wear a weighted vest. It's 16 pounds. I do a stepper for 30 to 35 minutes a day. I sweat. I feel good, but I am not to the point where I'm dead. But I'm also getting some weight-bearing and load-bearing exercises. I'm walking, which is one of the best exercises you can do because it burns any excess glucose, helps balance hormones, and all of that. But I'm not doing something like F45, CrossFit, berries, any of that. And that's not to disparage those things. If you love it, great. But if you are dealing with egg quality issues, or you are over 35, over 40, and you are trying to get pregnant naturally, those are the types of exercises that you kind of have to step back from, and you have to start doing things that are more nourishing as opposed to depleting and allowing your body to sweat. Egg quality is the topic du jour. Everyone is talking about it because more and more women are delaying pregnancy and parenthood for career, for education, or just because they don't want to, settle for a bum. Let's be honest. That's sometimes what it is. And because of that, we are seeing more issues around egg quality, egg quantity, IVF, IUI, all of those things. But I want you to know that your egg quality has nothing to do with your age. It only has to do with your age if you don't do anything to help improve it. Because you've been living in this body with these same eggs for 35, 40, maybe 42 years. That being said, if you do the things that we talked about in this video, you have one of the greatest opportunities to improve your egg quality and get and stay pregnant, regardless of the avenue that you take. And so I think it's really important to feel empowered and hopeful with this information. If you've gone to the clinic and they say you have low ovarian reserve, doesn't mean no ovarian reserve, and it speaks to nothing about quality. And so feel good, feel empowered, and feel like you are in the driver's seat when it comes to your egg quality. So if you like this video, share it, comment it, give me a like, do all the things, and be sure to subscribe because I'm posting videos all the time. Because I want to help you understand that you can get and stay pregnant, and you can do it without the fear, without the shame, without any of that. Because if you want a baby, you deserve to have one.